Welcome everyone. Today, we delve into the remarkable journey of Joe Frazier. From his early days in Philadelphia to his ascent as a boxing icon, and his impact both in the sport and beyond, there's a wealth of stories to explore about this extraordinary athlete. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend it to more viewers. Let's jump right in. About Joe Frazier's early life. Born on January 12, 1944, Joe Frazier was the 12th child of Dolly Alston-Frazier and Rubin Frazier in Beaufort. He grew up in Laurel Bay, a rural area in Beaufort County. Frazier fondly recalled his close relationship with his father, who would carry him across their 10-acre farmland to the still where he made bootleg corn liquor, and into town on Saturdays to buy essentials. Nicknamed Billie Boy, Frazier experienced a challenging upbringing. His father, Rubin, had lost his left hand and part of his forearm in a tractor accident the same year Joe was born. This accident occurred after a violent altercation with a friend named Arthur Smith, who shot Rubin and Dolly. Despite the challenges, Frazier's parents worked their farm with 2 mules, growing cotton and watermelons on less than ideal land. About Joe Frazier's introduction to boxing. In the early 1950s, Joe Frazier's family acquired a TV, attracting locals to watch boxing matches. Inspired by his uncle's prediction that he could become a great boxer like Joe Louis, Frazier began training. After being bullied, he made a makeshift heavy bag from a burlap sack filled with rags, corn cobs, a brick, and moss, hitting it daily for hours. About Joe Frazier's early work. At age 15, Frazier worked on a farm where he witnessed the abuse of a black boy by a white man. After reporting the incident and facing a confrontation, Frazier decided it was time to leave Beaufort. He saved money working at a Coca-Cola plant and eventually moved to Philadelphia in 1959. About Joe Frazier's departure for Philadelphia. Frazier's move to Philadelphia marked a new beginning. He described his departure as a quiet bus ride through the night, starting his new life at the age of 15. About Joe Frazier's career. Amateur boxing. Frazier won the Golden Gloves heavyweight championships in 1962, 1963, and 1964, losing only once to Buster Mathis. Despite losing to Mathis again at the 1964 U.S. Olympic trials, Frazier went to Tokyo as an alternate and trained diligently. He replaced an injured Mathis and won the gold medal, despite injuring his thumb during the competition. About Joe Frazier's 1964 Summer Olympics. In Tokyo, Frazier defeated opponents from Uganda, Australia, and the Soviet Union. In the final, he fought German Hans Huber with a damaged hand and won a 3-2 decision, earning the gold medal. Professional career. Early professional years. Frazier turned professional in 1965, winning his first fight by knockout. A training accident left him blind in his left eye, but he continued to fight, cleverly evading detection during medical exams. In 1966, trainer Eddie Futch joined Frazier's team, refining his style and emphasizing a bob-and-weave defense. Mid to late 1960s, Frazier's career took off in 1966 with a close win over Oscar Bonavena and a notable victory over George Chuvalo. By 1967, Frazier had 14 wins and appeared on the cover of Ring magazine. He challenged Muhammad Ali, who was soon stripped of his title for draft refusal. Frazier then won against Buster Mathis, staking his claim to the heavyweight title. About Joe Frazier's laying claims. Frazier defended his NYSAC title by defeating Manuel Ramos and Oscar Bonavena. He also won against Dave Zyglewicz and Jerry Quarry, earning the 1969 Ring Magazine Fight of the Year. About Joe Frazier's World Championship win. On February 16, 1970, Frazier faced Jimmy Ellis at Madison Square Garden, winning by a technical knockout. He retained his title by defeating Bob Foster in 2 rounds, and then faced Muhammad Ali in the fight of the century, winning a 15-round unanimous decision. About Joe Frazier's fight of the century, first fight versus Ali. On March 8, 1971, Frazier and Ali met in a highly publicized bout. Frazier, in peak form, won by unanimous decision despite Ali's tough performance. Both fighters were hospitalized after the fight. About Joe Frazier's title loss to George Foreman. On January 22, 1973, Frazier lost his title to George Foreman, who knocked him down 6 times, resulting in a second-round technical knockout. Frazier continued to fight, defeating Joe Bugner and later losing a non-title fight to Ali in 1974. About Joe Frazier's Thrilla in Manila, third Ali fight. On October 1st, 1975, Frazier faced Ali in the Thrilla in Manila. After a grueling fight, Frazier's trainer stopped the match before the 15th round due to Frazier's severe injuries. About Joe Frazier's second fight with Foreman. In 1976, Frazier fought Foreman again, but the fight was stopped in the 5th round after 2 knockdowns. He briefly retired afterward. About Joe Frazier's 1980s comeback and career as trainer. Frazier attempted a comeback in 1981, drawing with Floyd Jumbo Cummings, and then retired for good. He trained his children, Marvis and Jackie, who pursued boxing careers. About Joe Frazier's other work. Frazier appeared in movies and TV shows, including Rocky and The Simpsons. He released his autobiography and a boxing instructional book. Despite financial difficulties, he remained involved in boxing, training young fighters in Philadelphia. About Joe Frazier's relationship with Muhammad Ali. Initially friends, Frazier's relationship with Ali soured due to Ali's derogatory remarks. Ali's comments caused Frazier significant personal distress, but they had moments of reconciliation before Frazier's death in 2011. About Joe Frazier's philanthropic work. Frazier was involved in developing programming and training related to diversity and inclusion through student and faculty outreach at Bellarmine University. Efforts to memorialize Frazier include a planned statue in Philadelphia and a campaign to designate his North Philadelphia gym as a National Historic Site. About Joe Frazier's personal life. Frazier married Florence Smith in 1963, and they had 5 children before divorcing in 1985. He also had 2 more children with Rosetta. His son, Marvis Frazier, followed in his footsteps as a professional boxer. At his death in 2011, Frazier was survived by his partner of 40 years, Denise Mins, and 11 children. About Joe Frazier's death. Diagnosed with liver cancer in late September 2011, Frazier was under hospice care by November and died on November 7th at age 67. Muhammad Ali expressed his respect and admiration upon hearing of Frazier's death. His funeral was attended by notable figures, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. paid for the services. Frazier was buried at Ivy Hill Cemetery in Philadelphia. A statue in his honor was erected at Xfinity Live, Philadelphia in 2015. About Joe Frazier's house. Frazier's early life was spent in a modest home with 11 siblings, with the house elevated to prevent flooding. Beyond boxing, Frazier pursued musical interests, forming the soul-funk group Joe Frazier and the Knockouts in the late 1970s. They toured extensively, including performances in Ireland. Despite his achievements, Frazier was never officially honored by Philadelphia during his lifetime, but his legacy endures both in the ring and beyond. Thank you for joining us today as we explored the multifaceted career and life of Joe Frazier. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. See you in the next video.